Maybe don't do it
What?
again. There we go. Uh, okay, we're live.
Hello.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
It's not what I'm doing. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Thor is thundering, maybe vibrating uncontrollably. uh,
Unacceptable in
Vibrating, you
this
say.
state. Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. We're live. We're theming. We're theming Avengers.
This invite is still good.
We're streaming Avengers, and Mike has feelings.
I do have feelings.
He's got a lot of feelings. Locke, you'll need to come online.
Avengers
I gotta
assemble.
I gotta do my training mission here.
Okay.
So yeah, my opinion is that this is a wonderful single player game.
Let's go ahead and get the angry talk out of the way at the beginning.
The PC port of this game is absolutely broken
Mike's
in multiplayer. That is the statement.
Yeah, and so I guess too, you guys have looked into kind of some of the forums and everything else, and it's pretty universal. People are having issues. All right, connection issues, graphics issues, crashing desktop issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say how it's run for me. I've only played one mission, but we're gonna give it a go and hopefully get through. Talk about what this thing has to offer, because it seems like there's a cool game here. Hopefully, it's just not hidden behind a wall of technical garbage.
I mean, I think that's just it. Is that there is a fine beat 'em up here, and the single player, at least for me, my experience, is polished and relatively bug free. And the multiplayer just does not seem to run.
Should we try jumping into a quick mission? Showing it off while Locke's putting on his Avenger wings.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we wanted to wait for him or not.
No, go.
It's not very long of a tutorial thing, but
Hey there, welcome to the anthill.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
Cerise, Theo's twin
fire
sister.
something up.
We could
I've
do
got
one
the same
quick.
powers as my brother.
okay.
Portal twins at your service.
So this is, I guess, who wants to lead a little bit in terms of talk? Jason, you probably put the most time into it, so maybe you can kind of.
Sure. Yeah. So, all right. Where'd it go? All right.
Great
Third person action RPG, basically, because it's got skill trees for every character. It's got gear. Numbers go up as you get better gear. It has a lot of the same kind of moves as you would expect in a third-person action game. So every single character, we're gonna do this. Every single character has like a light attack and a heavy attack, and you can mix and match them up. Though some of the combos you have to unlock with skills. Hold on one
Current
second.
hero is locked in the selected campaign mission. Please select a valid hero.
So, I guess the co-op mode in this, when you play it, it's really supposed to be played after you complete the single player.
Yeah, so we probably should have said at the start, like, if you're worried about any kind of story spoilers or stuff like that, like there's even a screen, if you go into the Avengers Initiative, it says, hey, you may spoil something if you haven't finished the campaign.
I have no records about any
My
Woken.
guess is that they maybe some of the bigger stuff they leave out, but like there are some things. One of which is sort of silly. I don't know. I won't say again. I'll just try and respect everything, but it's kind of silly just considering the marketing for this has been like, hey, here's the playable characters, and yeah, the setup of this 8A and who dies and everything else like that should be clue enough as to you were already spoiled. But anyways, yeah. So this is set. So the very start of the campaign is set 5 years before the events of what we're doing here, and the campaign follows Kamala Khan and Miss Marvel as she kind of goes through and tracks everything down. I am currently sitting at a black screen. Oh, but I can see stuff. Okay.
You selected a mission that apparently nobody else could do, so it timed out and kicked us to the to the war table menu.
All right, let me see if I can.
Yeah, like I have the option to select.
There we go.
The thing.
Okay. I gotta back this out now. I got some way of the way there. Now I can't. Can someone else interact with the war table?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I'll pick a mission.
Thank you.
So yeah, so then as she goes through and she tries to figure out what's happened and stuff behind it, yada yada yada. So it seems like once that campaign ends is actually where then the co-op starts, and there's missions and stuff like that that you'll do in co-op that kind of continue with the story.
Perfect timing. Thanks to those
In addition to providing
shields and pounded gear. It's being held in a secure aim base up north. Weapons, trucks, tanks,
interesting.
everything.
I'll just...
Fury was tracking it all.
The cutscene is all blurry for me.
Yeah, it's like blacked out on my, like I can see parts of it, but like everybody who's talking is in profile shadow, and
I don't have a cutscene, and I'm looking at the inside of a Quinjet, and the textures are half loaded.
now my controller is kind of pulsing.
Yeah, it's a cutscene it's a cutscene where the camera was like focused on like a flea, maybe, and everything else was just blurry.
My favorite part is that I was the one that chose the mission, and I'm not seeing the cutscene.
Here's hoping the mission launches in 10 seconds.
Cool, that would be great.
So anyways, yeah, so this all picks up. There's different missions that you can do. So there's faction missions that are kind of like, there's a series of them that'll be like, you go to one place and there's a little bit of a, what we were supposed to see there, a little bit of a cutscene story sort of thing of people talking. And then you play through the mission, and there's like, as you'll see here, there's going to be different parts, different objectives that you have to complete before the end of it. And then like there's a little bit more of kind of some story stuff, and then there's another part to this that we'll do, and then another part, so there's a chain.
Anybody got a game loaded? I just got
No, I have a loading screen.
It says it's traveling to destination.
Okay, I have a black screen. Oh, I see clouds.
Then the other type of mission is, and I can't remember, like they have specific names for these, but I can't remember what they are now. But then they're like basically one-shot missions. So there will be like modifiers on it that boost your ability regeneration so that you get them back quicker. But then if you go into critical health, you can't use them whatsoever. And then like certain damage sources are increased. Certain types of enemies show up more often, stuff like that, and those are just like real quick things. For the co-op side of things, it seems like that's sort of a lot of where the replayability comes in, because you can set the difficulty of it, increase power levels. I'm assuming that also increases what kind of gear drops you get, or at least what shows up. So yeah, so there's and they change out pretty frequently what missions are available on the map. There are some that are set.
Oh, crash to desktop.
Oh, yes.
Sweet. I've just been informed I should visit the faction vendor to obtain rewards.
Mine crashed to desktop as well.
Amazing.
Wow.
I'm gonna blame.
At least we're giving them the authentic Avengers experience. this mission's never gonna load, so I might as well crash myself to desktop. There we go.
For our viewers at home, if you suddenly had just an
Alright.
overwhelming sense of salt, I think. But yeah, so better gear, increase your power level, and eventually, like, you'll be able to hit a point where the gear that you're getting is going to have different stats on it, different perks, different passive abilities, so that you can sort of gearing out your character in a specific way. There's a whole skill tree that once we get back into this, Nick can maybe go into for a little bit on the Hulk. The interesting thing is, like, up until a certain point, so you have hero level and power level. The hero level is independent from your power level, and it's like as you beat enemies and complete objectives, you get experience, and that increases your hero level, and you'll get skill points, and you have a few different skill trees. So there is your primary, which is a lot of just like your basic attacks, your specialties, which are sort of your super abilities, and then mastery. But mastery only becomes available once you hit hero level 15, and that's where like a lot of the specialization comes in as to how you want to spec out your characters, and those is in that mastery tree, along with the specialty tree. But basically, like your intrinsic ability or like your primary abilities, like you're more or less going to fill all those out, and then you're going to specialize within the specialty and mastery, sort of how you really want to do specific things.
May I receive a game invite?
Yeah, back in here. How's your tutorial going, Locke?
I'm loving these skin textures.
That's somewhat disturbing, I think.
I'll send you an invite, Locke, and whenever you're ready, you can join in. So yeah, so in the skill trees, the hero level is individual to every single character, so you have to level them up all separately, get power levels separately, do their challenge cards, which we'll talk about in a bit, separately. It's all individualized, and I suppose the nice thing is all characters, I mean, at least at this point, they're saying all characters that they release beyond this initial 6 are going to be free for everybody, so anybody can pick up and play them. I'll talk about the character pass thing in a second, and just what the one caveat or whatever is with all that stuff, but yeah, I mean, just playing characters and leveling them up is all free, so as they release Hawkeye and Kate Bishop and everyone else, you'll be fine to just pick up and play without having to get anything else.
So let's talk about why all the characters start as scrubs.
Spoilers.
I mean, kind
It's
of,
a spoiler.
Oh,
yeah. Why everybody's a hobo?
yeah.
I mean, like, it's not too much of a spoiler. They here. Let's see if we can do this.
And we're back. Hey, that's ironic.
Well done, sir.
I was trying to no-sell that one.
And I will triply stress that I love the single player.
I like the co-op in this. Like, I think there's this. I was talking about this in our group chat, but like, if you think about other similar kind of games, like Anthem or something like that, Anthem, a lot of its problems had to do with the way. Hold on. Wait for Jarvis to be done.
Jarvis is even speaking on my side.
I heard Jarvis.
So, I think like the gameplay is good. Like the different heroes, while they have like the same sort of basic combos or whatever, like they're all different in a very interesting ways, and play the way that you think. Like you'll see here in a second, like Thor, he can throw his hammer and actually use it to pin enemies to the wall, which is useful in combat situation because sometimes you'll have elite enemies, and so you can pin them to a wall, and you and your buddies can run over and sort of beat up the enemy while he's pinned, and that prevents them from using blocks and other attacks that otherwise you'd have to be like dodging and parrying or whatever. Hush.
Are you in? Are we doing it?
Shh. Quiet, everybody.
Are we avenging?
Not yet. Just shut
No.
up.
One of the buildings in the middle distance didn't load, but I'm in the level.
All right, boys.
Black Widow has some special skills where she uses like her.
Oh, Jason, your audio is breaking up on my side pretty bad.
Hulk is
Ultron,
kind of like a
Ultron
tank.
got him.
Is he breaking up for other people too?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't hear anything he's saying.
Yeah.
Come back to me.
So I'll narrate since we can see it's smashing on my side. Yeah, so it's basically it's a beat 'em up. Like at least Hulk plays like a beat 'em up, with combos and being able to kind of smoothly move between the enemies and everything else. But I think one of the cool things, at least from the little bit I played, is like I guess the heroes can kind of play off of each other. Like which one is the one that had like the special moves when multiple heroes were close to?
MUA.
Yeah.
Ultimate Alliance.
Ultimate Alliance had the Alliance moves, yeah, duh. And so it seems to take a little bit of that with this, that you can kind of do little team-ups and stuff. You'll get little button prompts to do certain team-ups. And
Though not to the same degree.
no. Okay.
Like it is the one thing like I kind of wish was there was, I haven't seen anything that has like for as much as they're like, hey, here's some iconic moves and stuff like that for the different characters. Nothing that's like, okay, and if you have Captain America and Iron Man on your team, Iron Man can shoot his laser at Captain America's shield and do that whole, you know, reflect a laser beam off of it, or Thor shoots lightning at the shield or something like that, right? So there is sort of a limit to some of that, and I wish some of that was in here. Like that's one of the things I really wish they had was the ability to team up more and have those kinds of things. Though I also get why that would be difficult to kind of prompt those sorts of things. But kind of like I was saying earlier was that you can that doesn't mean that there isn't interaction, right? Like so Thor being able to toss out his hammer and pin enemy, players can then target that enemy. Hulk has a taunt ability. The support abilities or whatever can boost your teammates. Did we lose someone?
Let me look. Mike. Oh, he's back. No big deal. Just crashing.
Didn't lose anybody important.
Oh, snap.
Thanks for that.
So what was it? You said left trigger? Left trigger is the support ability. Left trigger is the support ability.
Left bumper.
Left bumper is the support ability. Okay. Oh, let's see. I like how Hulk, like, as you jump, like it like powers up more and more. So like you basically triple jump and you're really getting moving.
How does it compare to the PlayStation Hulk?
Oh no!
ultimate destruction.
Yeah.
I mean, what's better than going around and blowing up
Your own
buildings as the
tanks.
Hulk? Yeah.
Nothing.
So we lost, I guess.
No, we just have to defeat guys. We're still good.
Wait, what? So, mine restarted when I died, and I'm back at the start.
Oh, I've got. I mean,
This happened to us yesterday, Jason.
I need
Remember?
a screenshot of this. Hold on, wait. Okay.
Yeah, you're
I've
probably
got-
not in the same game anymore. This happened to us yesterday.
I mean,
Yeah.
so there's AI. I guess the AI took over.
Yep. Yeah. So I've got currently 2 Captain Americas, 3 Iron Men, and 1 Hulk running around with me.
Love it.
How does that happen?
Well, you see, when a game isn't ready to be released and they push it out the door anyway, anything can happen.
I can see that. Oh my word.
Again, I will stress that the single-player component of this game is quite good.
Yeah,
I have to keep saying it because I can't say a nice thing about the multiplayer yet.
I have lots of nice things to say, but it is problematic. Like 100%. I am not ever gonna say otherwise.
it needs a few more weeks in the oven.
It needs some
I think it
patching.
needed about 6 more months in the oven.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not hitting any of the performance issues you were hitting, Mike, but I mean, definitely hitting these weird glitches. So.
Yeah, and it's just crazy because it only happens in multiplayer. Like, the frame drops, the crashes, the weird server desyncs, and like all this stuff that's going on. Like this game requires you to be online to play it, and I haven't had any of these issues playing in the campaign.
Oh man, Hulk is so much fun to just jump around these buildings.
Yeah.
So yeah, the campaign, like we were saying over chat, like just the very first mission where you play as Kamala and you gotta just go collect comic books as a fan. Like there's just so much like heart to the whole thing. It's really,
Yeah.
And you had said like the whole campaign from what you played seems to have that same level to it, which is.
Well, I mean, Crystal Dynamics' Tomb Raider games are all really good.
Yeah.
Like I like the they didn't make the third one, but the first 2 are really good. I like them a lot. And they took a really cool, heartfelt superhero story and made a cool campaign out of it, and it plays identically to the multiplayer. Like when you have the characters in the campaign, however you gear and level them up, it comes straight over to the multi. So there's no real difference other than the actual multiplayer aspect of it. And yeah, it's a shame because I can't remember the last time that a game released in this state. Like a game this big released in this state.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's
Like the last one I can think of is the Arkham Knight,
Yeah.
because that game was straight up broken even in the single player.
Yeah.
Because that is a single player game. Anyway, so yeah, this has been. I'm like, oh, I'll try the multiplayer. Whoops, it's still bad. And then I'd go get frustrated and go play some single player, and I'm like, oh yes, this game is good. And I really wonder what it is about everything.
Yeah, and it's just there's a lot of graphics issues. Like things where I saw Mike. I was like, I know this isn't the case, but it almost feels like, did they use a separate engine for the multiplayer than they did for the single player, just because of the way like stuff looks in multiplayer versus single player? But
I think they just force lower resolution assets on the same models because they use some of the same areas from the campaign in the multiplayer maps.
yeah,
Um,
I'm seeing if I can finish up this
armchair game developer here, but
Well, the good news is it's running fine with no other players in it for me. So that's the problem with the multiplayer. It's the multiple players. So you just drop that piece and you're good to go.
Yo, fighting as the Hulk is dope.
It is. It's a
It is.
lot of like this is a game in itself. Just well, like you said, it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
if you take the technical issues out, and it's hard to, like, it's really good. It's great. Plays well.
Playing as Thor is a lot of fun. Playing as Iron Man is a lot of fun. Like I've yet to play a character where I didn't have a good time.
Yeah.
That's good.
So they all. I mean, obviously they feel really different. Then I mean, I can't imagine like there be much crossover in terms of. I guess it's
Yeah.
like you think about it. It's almost like a if you play a fighting game, right? Like even though there's different characters, there's some sort of basic similarities between them that you feel.
Yeah.
Where this, it feels like they're really like they're from different games almost.
Yeah, it's like I've played as all the heroes, and I find that if you have a archetype you like to play in beat 'em ups, or style of beat 'em up that you like to play, like one of the characters will work for you. Like, I picked Widow because I really like the fact that you can air combo. Like you can basically stay in the air infinitely if there are enough enemies to do so. Because she can grapple in between enemies. So you get a swarm of those drones, you grapple to one, dive kick it a few times, and then, grapple to the next thing, and you just keep moving around. It feels very fluid and fun. And then you can, like, AoE stun the ground and then drop in after you're done with the air stuff, and it just feels really good. And, Hulk, or not Hulk, but like Iron Man and Thor can just fly around. And
Right.
Hulk can grapple onto buildings and swing people around like weapons. Like, they all feel really
Yes.
cool.
That's the best part about Hulk. He does have that. Like if you hold X while you're attacking, he'll grab the enemy, and then you can do the Loki smash thing, where if you press Y for your heavy attack, you just slam them into the ground repeatedly.
Yeah.
Or you can hurl them at other enemies and stuff like that. I mean, like, eventually he gets a skill that he unlocks where he can pick up two enemies at the same time, and then just start swinging them around. Like, it's all different, and it all feels good. Like, each one of the different characters feels good. It is absolutely, like, I'll sit here and I'll just say, hey, parts of this are really fun, like doing these missions, and like there's a lot of the same objectives. Like the missions themselves don't have a lot of variety, but it's mindless enough, and like the feeling of the action is good enough that doesn't really matter. It's just that, boy, so much of this is buggy and needs fixed.
Yeah. I was positing in our Discord earlier that they could have done a GTA Online thing with this and made it so that you have your campaign characters that you could then, like a month down the road when the multiplayer was actually ready, they could have released the multiplayer and you just drop in and go. Because the campaign has clearly gone through a polish phase that the multiplayer hasn't.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure that they were like, we got to make sure that the campaign is really good and solid.
Well, and what's interesting is the beta for this didn't have the multiplayer in it. It was just single player.
Huh? Weird. A pre-release beta a week before the game comes out, not showing the broken part of it.
It's like it's just like I just licked a salt lick or something like that. Boy, I just got this strong.
I'm sorry. I don't.
Mike has
I
feelings,
really-
everybody. Mike has feelings.
really. I have feelings.
I win!
I feel that this is a video game.
I Hulk
It's not
smashed.
like the game's going anywhere. They're gonna keep
Yeah.
fixing
Yeah.
it, and they've put enough money into it that it's gotta last X amount of years.
I'm sure in a couple months from now, people will just be talking about whatever content drop that they're doing. You know, we can be outraged about the price of DLC heroes or something instead of like, I can't play the game.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So to that point, I kind of was saying this earlier, but like, so the only thing for DLC, or the only thing that they're saying that you're going to pay for is cosmetic stuff. So while all the characters that they're going to release are free, the challenge card thing, which is where you have to do special daily and weekly challenges to actually advance that, so it's entirely separate from other systems.
But you get the challenge cards for the base heroes.
So you get the challenge cards for the base heroes, and it's unlocked. Like the wording of all this stuff is weird, but like the way I understand it basically is, to get this challenge card, you have to pay $10. Or, as you level up any of the heroes' challenge cards, you're going to earn credits. And from what they said, and if I do some quick math here as I go through the pages, let's see, so that's 500, 700, and yeah, so if you fully level up a hero's challenge card, you will get enough credits to just buy another hero's challenge card that you don't
Right.
have. So they have a way, like, you can just grind in game to unlock, like, no, it doesn't unlock all the items, right? Like, you know, you still have to advance the challenge card like you do for everything else, but you can at least unlock it so that you can then make progress on that hero's challenge card. So yeah, so they do have two ways. You can either pay or you can play, and everything that they're saying that they're going to do is cosmetic. They're never going to sell gear. They're never going to sell characters. I'm personally putting an asterisk by that because fucking development is costly and expensive, and stuff happens. So if that remains true, good on them. But for right now, what they're saying is that's all they're going to charge is for cosmetic stuff. Here's what I'll say. Like, here's my main gripes, bugs and everything else aside. My main gripes with this, and it is the general layout of things is not great. Like going to the war table, selecting the mission, going through your menus isn't an easy experience. That can get optimized over time, but it's kind of a little bit of a mess. Your gear is, you kind of need to constantly update and maintain it because for your different slots for each character, your melee, range, defense, and heroic gear, you only have 9 spots, and if you try to pick up gear that is on the ground and you don't have an open slot for that particular gear type, then my understanding is it does go into like a post mission locker where you can go through and do stuff, but it's like not a big inventory that you have, and so you kind of have to maintain it and break stuff down.
So there is a Destiny postmaster in this.
Yeah, it's called, like, when you're there at the in between missions or whatever, it's called like the locker or something like that.
Hey there, welcome to the ad. I'm Cerise, Theo's twin sister.
The
got
other
the
part of
same
this
powers as my
is
Portal twins at your service.
the dismantling stuff is per item. There's no like select a bunch of things and just dismantle all this stuff. It's like you have to sit there and it's like a couple seconds, which makes sense because you don't want to break down something that you want to keep. But like there's no lock onto this or keep this for later. It's all just dismantle it in individual. So inventory management is kind of a thing, and it's not a good thing right now. So there's that. The other thing that when it comes from a co-op perspective, I mentioned this earlier, was just, hey, it'd be awesome if they had some way for the characters to interact a little bit more directly with some of those signature things that you expect. Iron Man shoots his beam at, Captain America's shield, or, there's Hulk picks up a character and throws them at an enemy or something like that, right? Like something that has a little bit more interaction between them when you're fighting. Are you joining us, Locke? I sent you an invite.
I'm not done the intro yet.
Oh, okay. That all that stuff aside, chests and levels, gear pickup is individual. So if I go and I run and I say, "Oh, hey, there's a chest over here," and I open it, Nick and Mike and Locke all have to run over to that same chest and open it themselves in order to get the gear out of it. It's not, an instantaneous.
How is that different than something like Destiny, though?
Well, because Destiny, someone opens a chest. Well,
it depends on the kind of chest, right?
Right. I mean, like, eventually they started moving towards a model where it's like, okay, someone opens a chest and everybody just gets the loot. Like, you see it pop up on the screen, right? So it's not like everybody has to run over there and get it. For destination chests, yes, you have to do that. For like encounter chests or whatever, then you do. But like it's kind of one of those varied things. I don't like it in Destiny either. I mean, like, if you're in a fire team or whatever, if you're in a group, if somebody opens a chest, everybody should just be able to go and open that chest too. Or everyone should get their gear from that chest. See if this works or not.
There's emotes.
There's emotes.
You only have one emote slot, though.
But yeah, gear is individualized, which is good, and you're only going to get gear for the character that you have. So like, I'm only going to get gear for Thor. I'm never going to get gear for Black Widow or Hulk. Which I'm okay with. Like, I'll level up the other characters separately. It's better to know that if I see an epic or legendary item drop, I know it's specifically for the character I'm playing, and not like, oh great, this is for a character that I don't even have leveled up or I don't play. There doesn't seem to be so far any sort of requirements for gear. It's like there's nothing that seems to be like you have to be this hero level in order to equip this or use this. But like I said, I think it would be good if they had just gear. Just someone goes and opens a chest, everybody gets it, right? Like just have the gear pop up for everybody, so not everybody has to run over. Just a better way to kind of spread that stuff around. And yes, obviously, stabilizing things, fixing things so that it's, doesn't crash. So that inventory locker is what I'm talking about. Like you see here while we're in this, I'm pretty sure that's what it is, and that has a lot of space for everything. It's like 300 slots.
Every time the scene transitions away from the Hulk and back to the Hulk, he loads in a split second before his pants. It's not it's not that you see his bare ass. It's like that part of the model doesn't.
You get a nice
Look, I'd be singing much bigger praises about this game if we got some bare Hulk booty.
Some Hulk booty.
I'd like to see that on like the bug fix list, like how they describe what they fixed. Hulk's pants now load in with Hulk.
See, now I have a machine gun. Ho 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 ho.
So here, I think we're gonna, assuming everything works, we're possibly gonna be fighting a boss.
Cool. High value target.
Are you really fighting aim bots? Is that...
Yes.
Yeah.
Aim is a thing in the comics.
Oh my god.
Advanced ideas, mechanics.
Yeah.
AOL Instant Messenger.
That too.
Smash!
One of my weeklies is to shoot things, so I'm gonna shoot things.
Ouch. I turned invisible for some reason.
That
I
was
made you invisible.
Yeah, okay.
Stop, he's already dead.
We made quick work of him.
Is there a grimoire?
Is there a grimoire?
There's collectibles.
Yeah. Of a sorts.
Good.
What do the fragments do?
It's just one of the 9 types of currency.
Basically. Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of materials for different, like, basically upgrading your gear and buying stuff.
Okay.
And it'll tell you what you need. Fragments are the most common.
Gotcha.
And
Oh, we got the big boy.
breaking down gear is the fastest way to get more.
I'm gonna back up for a second. I need some of these health thingers.
Somebody's health figures.
Someone take care of the lasers. Can't see them.
This isn't believable. She just put a password in with spaces. That's not real. Is that true? Can you do that?
Yeah.
You can have spaces in a password?
My
Yes.
password is space.
Oh my god. What am I doing all these years?
Apparently not using spaces in your password.
Don't DDoS me or hack me.
Come here, Dreadbot. I got it. Allow me. Rip its head off. Rip it. Oh, beat it with its arm. There you go. Okay.
Cool. Kamala's got a sweet vertical. Oh.
Gotta use the elevator. I will say, to its credit, even if you crash, you keep all your stuff in XP.
That's good.
Unless you get a really bad crash. Although I think they may have fixed that part of it.
That was if you get logged out of your Square Enix account somehow.
Yeah.
Because you could earn skins and then crash and then come back and you lost your currency and the skin. Hulk smash. There's a treasure over here.
Oh, some kind of mini map. I mean, like, you do have a pulse, which is good, but it's really tough to keep track of where people are. Someone says, like, hey, I'm over here. Yeah, you're just like, where is that? we gotta fight here?
You know who we gotta fight.
A whole bunch of drones.
Got something in your eye?
Oh! You don't do that to Hulk. Get some.
Who's next?
Ow. Damn lasers.
I do like how one of the things I really love about Thor is how you can totally pull off his little I'm hurling my hammer over this way and punching a dude and then bringing it back and hitting him in the head. Like it feels so good.
It's got a good hammer feel to it.
It's got a good hammer feel in my mouth.
Nice.
Yeah, I was wondering where that enemy was. Hold on, chest over here.
Right, chest over here. You are where exactly? I see Nick on my map and not you.
Go to Nick. He's in the same spot.
It's showing it down here. Like I got like a little marker on my thing.
Yeah.
Freaking lasers!
Yeah.
Alright, where are we going?
We gotta go use the elevator, I would say. You should also try flying. Flying's really good.
Avengers.
A special enemy unit?
All units.
Uh-oh.
Indeed. Thanks, Nolan.
Incoming!
Avengers assemble in 7, 6, 5.
News team, assemble!
Can you be Vision?
You cannot
no.
be Vision.
Will he be a character at some point? Who knows?
I really like that Avengers game on Genesis.
You know what a good Avengers game was? Marvel Heroes Omega.
Yes, it was.
Was that the MMO? Or
Yeah,
like the Diablo-ish
the
one?
Diablo one.
That was a good game. That was a real good game. Rest in pieces.
Yeah.
Ripping
real.
pepperonis.
Pour one out for a real one.
Yeah, no kidding. Pour one out for stretchy hands here over here.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. I think my invisibility applied to the enemies and not us.
No, I got invisible there too.
Like I see
You're fighting an enemy that is invisible to me.
Yeah, no, he's invisible to me too. I see a sky dog
I
thing.
see his-
flames, but no dude.
Oh, here's
either.
Taskmaster.
Taskmaster's dope.
Oh, Assmaster.
This may shock you.
What's the shiny gold thing I'm gonna pick up? Oh.
That is, I think that's energy for your supers. Oh, owie.
Oh, me too.
He's just spamming undodgeable attacks, it would appear.
Where's Charlton? Or
Yes. Which means something if you know the comics.
Uh,
I do not know the comics.
there's an acronym in there that I forget the exact phrasing of.
Oh, I missed it. He gone.
We win. Made it through a mission.
Yeah.
We did it.
Nice.
Avengers assemble. We did it.
So yeah, I guess it's we recommend you wait a little bit to commit.
Let the old
Yeah,
toast bake in the oven.
At least for if you're buying it for the co-op.
Yes. If you just want the campaign, go right in. It's real fun.
And I mean, I don't know. I'll say you can still play it with co-op. Just be prepared to have
Things.
problems.
I mean, what it took us an hour to get through one mission successfully.
So Destiny? I kid.
I mean, in some ways, it is kind of reminiscent of early Destiny 1, because that game certainly launched with its own problems as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, having some issues is that's the thing. Like I'm not surprised or don't feel like it's unheard of. And the biggest thing with this is the fact that like it's not just the underlying issues, right? It's not just like, okay, well, you know, there's a few things here and there they need to fix with like mission structure or doing this, that, or the other. It's the fact that like, yeah, we had game crashes, we had things that happened during this where we couldn't launch missions, and then like I ended up with 12 Iron Man, 5 Hulks on my team or whatever, which is awesome, but like also not.
Oh dear God.
What?
This is some horror.
Unanticipatable Avengers.
If you look at the stream, you can see what I'm seeing right now. That is
Well, I can't look at the stream because I don't want to risk Elda leaving in the game.
an absolute horror show.
Well, you did drop from the party after I sent us somewhere.
I gained a good view of Hulk's booty there.
No, it's just a head and a tablet floating next to me.
Go on.
We didn't show off Wig Girl. Oh, I feel bad about that. Highlight of this second floor of the helicarrier. So yeah, it's look for again, for as much as we can sit here and list off all the bad things. I think there's a good solid core to this. And I think they've nailed the important parts of the gameplay. It's just really fixing up all the kind of other stuff that needs to get done and stabilizing it and making sure that it's
Yeah.
people can run it on any kind of system and stuff like that.
People can play it.
People can play it consistently.
There we go.
And as I said to Mike, no, don't. I know what you're gonna say. Infinite loading screen is not what I meant by play it consistently.
Aw. Aw.
Aw. So yeah,
All right. Well,
Marvel's Avengers.
we'll be
Pretty
back.
good asterisks.
I love it.
Asterisk is a paragraph long disclaimer.
Pretty good. Here's what we do. YMMV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back next week with something else. I know
I would like to revisit this as soon as they put a stability patch out.
Yeah, yeah. My guess is give it a couple weeks. Let everybody file their bugs and have them collect the data and everything else, and then we'll see some goodness coming from it. But all right. Well, I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's better than I expected, actually, based off of what they showed in the beta and what the game actually is. It was kind of two different things here. So, all right. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.